Hey, what it is, folks? You know what it is. You know what time it is. And you see these two faces right here. I'm mad we looking like twins right now, though. This was not planned. This was not thought about. This is just we went to the throwback, all black with an all black do rag on. But anyways, you know what it is. It's the Mind on Greatness podcast. You got my main man, Boss Hog, Boss Dog, Capo through the throw. Then you got me, you know what I'm saying? The one and only, Brody on the hustle. You know, your boy was born in a tussle, so I'm finna get it and give it to you off the muscle, you feel me? But anyways, we here to talk NFL Week 10 action. You know, some of the surprising things that went down. Josh Dobbs continued to do his thing. You know, he got a little bit more acclimated with the playbook and show what he can really do. You know what I'm saying? They knock off the Saints. Then you had the Cowboys bullying the Giants. Once again, they put up another 40 burg on. You know what I'm saying? Big win, big win. You know, but again, Cowboys, good job. You know, let's move on. But anyways, the Jets again find another way to lose on account of Zach Wilson. Feel bad for the boy. You know what I'm saying? They was riding on Aaron Rodgers and poof, he gone, and now he like, man, y'all set me up. But anyways, on to the next. So we gonna go ahead and get into it. There was a lot of things happening in NFL Week 10, but the first thing we're gonna discuss, we're gonna get into this Texans type deal. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna talk these H-time Texans, baby. That bullpen live. You know what I'm saying? They going hard. They doing their thing, and you know we discussed it on our last episode. You know what I'm saying? Again, these references. Y'all gotta be watching this. You gotta be paying attention. You gotta be listening because we hitting some of these nails on my head, and they almost starting to get etched in stone with what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, last episode, excuse me, we talked about the Texans. You know, we asked a couple questions. Can Tank Dell be considered the number one receiver? We said, can the Texans score with the best of them? How should they treat the running back situation? Should they stay in house? Should they build through the draft, or should they go get a marquee name? You know what I'm saying? I feel like instantly the very next week, some of those question marks we asked, we answered, got answered by the Houston Texans. But K Paul, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the lead on this one. Go ahead, let's get into this Texas Bengals game. How you feel about that?
Uh, for starters, that was a great win, team win by the Texans. Excuse me. Um, you know, special teams, defense, and offense really stepped up, especially the defense. I mean, forcing two turnovers on an elite quarterback like Joe Burrow was heavily impressive. You know what I mean? Uh, they had a great game by the defensive tackles rankings. And he applied pressure up the middle. He was very active with his hands, very violent, and they were in that backfield. They made Joe Burrow uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And I was very impressed by that defensively. Offensively, CJ Stroud being CJ Stroud, they're putting him in positions to where he can make plays. Um, Noah Brown, bro. Let's I mean Tank Dell is balling. You know, he had a touchdown. He he can be a true number one wide receiver. But let's talk about Noah Brown, bro. Like Noah Brown has been killing it. He had 5 receptions for over 150 yards. I think he had like 172. Last week he had over 150 yards as well. I mean, the dude, and he also had the key, play to get them in field goal position where he caught a pass and he broke some tackles and, got the ball, basically almost to the 20-yard line to make it a chip shot field goal for, a guy that they just signed last week. You know what I'm saying? So, um, even just the run game, Devin Singletary, in which we touched on last week about should the Texans go out there and get, a marquee name. And Devin Singletary, basically, I don't know if he heard us, but he the boy came out there and said, nah, we good over here. You know what I mean? I mean, let's just talk about the offensive line, of course, opened a lot of big holes for him, but he was making a lot of people miss, bro. Um, that dude is an underrated runner. You know what I mean? And he was creating opportunities. If he got one on one with anybody, you not touching him. You know, and finished off a lot of runs. Ran behind his pads. It was just a complete performance by him. I think he had like 30 carries. For like 129 or something like that. So, and he had his first touchdown of the season. Now, granted, it's like week 9, week 10, but hey, it is what it is, man. It's a team effort. You know what I mean? This team is shocking a lot of people this year. And, you know, this was a program that people felt like if a new coach came into the program, it's going to take them 10 years to basically bring this program back to prominence. And D'Amico Ryans is doing this in his first year. So, between him, Bobby Slowick, and, the defensive coordinator, um, Matt Burke, they're doing a phenomenal job working as a unit to, built this team, you know what I mean? And they only gonna get better, you know. So I mean, this was a marquee win for this. I mean, everybody. I'm not gonna lie. I even picked the Bengals to beat the Texans. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. But the Texans showed up. I mean, if they continue to play like this, they can win maybe 10, 11 games and maybe be in a playoff picture. But B, what's your take on these Texans? What you got?
Uh, Most definitely, I agree with everything you said 100% as a whole. But I'm gonna tip my hat, clap my hands and stomp my feet for this Texans defense because they're missing their leading tackler, excuse me, Tor. You know what I'm saying? And they got Cashman in there. They got other players, filling the void while he's out. And I liked it because CJ Stroud made mistakes, and the defense didn't. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break. They played a full 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying, to the last minute, and that's what I liked about this game. CJ Stroud and that offense is gonna continue to click. They're gonna continue to be who they are, and I'm gonna say this because, like I said at the beginning of the season, CJ Stroud at every second while he's on the sideline, while he's on the field, whether it's special teams, defense, in between timeouts. If you look, when they put the camera on him, he's like a sponge sitting in water. He's absorbing everything. He's looking at everything. He's reading everything. He's critiquing everything. He's a natural born leader, and that's what I like about him. So that offense, him, Tank Dell, Singletary, Damian Pierce, whenever they get him back on track, Nico Collins when they get him back from injury, Schultz, the tight end, Noah Noah Brown, my God, what a great pickup. I think he came over from the Cowboys, I believe. I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and look at it. But yeah, that was a great pickup because I felt like when he was over in Dallas, I felt like they wasn't utilizing him well because every time he touched the ball for them, it was some kind of explosive play. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was an explosive 10-yard gain or explosive 15-yard gain, and now he over here doing it real big for the Houston Texans. So I like it. But again, this defense plays solid for the Houston Texans, and I feel like that's what really kept them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in shootout, you need the defense to step up and continuously make plays. Excuse me. But anyways, I really like this Texas team, and like you mentioned, I see him winning 11 games. I see him finishing the season no less than 10-7, and I got them making the playoffs and actually winning the wild card. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who they play, because right now the Bills out of the picture. They on the outside looking in. The Jags, I don't see them being a threat. I mean, you got other teams out there, but if Texas continue to play like this, be on the lookout. You know what I'm saying? And remember who driving the wagon right now. Me and my boy K Poe, we hit it. We hit it first. You know what I'm saying? We in charge of the wagon. So don't come over and try to jump on and be like, oh, y'all was right. Nah, 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 nah. Y'all waited. We asked this question way back yonder. So, with that being said, shout out to the Texans, CJ Stroud, and the rest of those guys, D'Amico, Slowick, everybody on the Texan staff. Good job, good win. And not only that, they knock off one of the big bosses, one of the teams that carried the torch throughout the playoffs when it comes to this side of the football world. Good good job, Texas. Good job. Got me stumbling my words. I'm so excited for these boys, man. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and slow roll into this next game. Which one you want to jump into next, K-Po? Let us know something.
Well, we can segue, man. We're gonna segue into the Ravens versus the Browns. A very interesting game. In that AFC North, every game matters, right? And this was a game where the Ravens were in control, uh, late, and then Lamar Jackson throws an interception. They run it back, and the momentum just kind of swings to Cleveland's way, and then next thing you know, Cleveland ended up kicking the game-winning field goal. What I saw from this game was, for the most part, Cleveland, that defense is real. They basically, I mean, yeah, Baltimore was able to run the ball on them and make plays, but You know, that defense, they may bend, but they don't break. If that makes sense, they gonna give you that play, and I was very impressed by how the defense has played together this year. I mean, like I said, they were down in this game. You know what I mean? And they found a way to muscle their way back, and keep Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson didn't even throw a touchdown. You know what I mean? So they kind of kept him in check. Um, like I said, they for the most part they couldn't stop the run, but they kept him in check as far as throwing the ball around the yard on that evening. I was very impressed with Deshaun Watson. He's kind of slowly but surely coming back, into his old form. Cleveland got a good thing going. Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, they got Njoku at tight end, and they got a good thing going in Cleveland. I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender, but I see them as a team that can go deep in the playoffs. This AFC North is wide open. It's really for anybody to take it. But like I said, Baltimore just kind of choked, and Cleveland, they just made a play when they needed to make a play. So I'm gonna pass it to you. What you think about the Browns? That's the question I got. What do you think about Cleveland? And what you think about Baltimore? As a whole, and this division that they're in.
Okay, okay. Overall, I'm gonna get to this point real quick right here first. Remember we talked about Keaton Mitchell on last episode as well. They only gave him what 3-4 carries. That ain't enough. If you give him 1 carry and he spurred off to the end zone for 39 and get you a rushing touchdown, that's something you got to keep trying. You know what I'm saying? Just like in boxing, if you shooting your jab and you're not connecting, hey, keep shooting it, build off of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how they got to use Keaton Mitchell. I don't think they should deviate away from that. That's something that should be instilled in your offense week in and week out. You should find a way to get this dude. He's lightning in the bottle. You should find a way to get this dude the ball. I don't care if it's tosses, screen plays, whatever you got to do to get him the ball. You need to be getting him the ball. But anyways, for this Baltimore Ravens team, I feel like it's, it was the Browns top defense, yeah, but I think they just finally had a lapse. You know what I'm saying? Just at the wrong time. Had a lapse at the wrong time. I still see him as a stout playoff contender. I still see them as maybe one of the top Super Bowl contenders coming out of this division. But at the same time, overall for this entire division, it's more like it's set up to where it's like, hey, if you push them, we'll trip them, and while they getting tripped, we need to get them to kick that person in the throat. You know what I'm saying? That's how this division going right now. Everybody got to win out. Everybody gonna need somebody help towards the end. The Bengals are last place right now, and I still feel like they can climb back in it, but my gut feeling tells me it's gonna be 3 teams out of this division to make the playoffs, and I see it honestly right now. I see it being the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers. Now, how it's gonna play out, I don't know, but I still think those 3 right now will make the playoffs. I got a few question marks about the Bengals, you know what I'm saying, but they still a solid football team. You can't count them out, but at the same time, they last in this division. But for the Cleveland Browns, man, like you mentioned, everything you said, Deshaun Watson looked like he's slowly coming back. You know what I'm saying? Not up to old. It looked like he redefining himself in his position. He's starting to, play a little bit better. He's trying to climb those tiers again. Right now, I still got him in a tier 2, but at the lower level. But he's slowly starting to climb his way back up. And then if he keep playing the way he's playing, we'll be looking at Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's an elite quarterback again. Kareem Hunt, fresh off the couch a couple weeks ago. Now he fully back engaged doing this thing with the Cleveland Browns. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was gonna come back, but I just didn't know at one point. I don't even know why they let him even go to the couch. That's one guy, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't have at home. If he's on your team, he is the starting running back on any other team in the NFL. And if you can keep him as a second string or whatever on your team, why even play with it? Because if somebody else would have got him, y'all probably would have been hurt. And I know y'all got 4, but the Browns probably would have been hurt for something without him there. But anyways, Amari Cooper keep balling. He keeps being a top elite receiver. I've always had a love for Amari Cooper and pause, no homo. But anyways, he's always been a solid receiver. He's quiet. He's a humble guy. He shows up and he does what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get out of character. He doesn't argue. He doesn't none of that good stuff. He's a solid guy. He's a solid receiver to have on your team. But this Browns defense, man, you know what the saying is. Defense wins championships. Are they gonna win the championship this year? Nah, I doubt it. But at the same time, if they can keep building on this and keep this team together, eventually we'll be looking at the Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl. I know everybody used to say, "Oh, this is the quarterback graveyard. You go to the Browns, your quarterback gonna die. Oh, they ain't never gonna be there." If they keep doing what they doing and keep building in the right direction, they gonna be solid. They're gonna be solid. But all right, let's go ahead and segue into this third game. We're gonna talk about K-Po. We on your time, baby. Let's get it.
All right, so the next game we got Jags 49ers. Um, man, I mean that was a massacre. I mean, that was a massacre. I mean, I called that one right. See, at least I got one of my picks right out of my picks. You know what I mean? That was, I mean, and it was so bad. The 49ers was trying to keep Christian McCaffrey's touchdown streak alive because I think he got like 17 straight games where he scored a touchdown. So they lined him up at receiver and was trying to throw him a screen at the 1 yard line. He didn't get in. You know what I mean? His streak ended last week, but you know what I mean. I mean, it was just it, for starters. Chase Young, welcome to a winning team. Welcome, welcome to a winning team, Chase Young. I mean, seeing Chase Young and Nick Bosa, that that right there is going. That's gonna be the reason why they win a Super Bowl because of them two putting them two together. The 49ers are doing whatever they can. They know the Eagles went and got Byard, so they like, hey, we need to get Chase Young. We need to get somebody who can get to Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? And let me tell you, they gonna be a problem. If you can't stop that, what you gonna do? You try to double Bosa, Chase Young on the other side. You know what I mean? Then you got Warner. You know what I mean? It's just they defense is stacked. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, to get back on topic, overall great team win by the 49ers. They basically get back in the win column. They were on a little losing streak, but they had a little couple of injuries. You know, it seems like everybody's getting back healthy. They're getting that groove back. Um, and this was a good, much needed win. I don't look at the Jaguars as an elite team, but I look at them as they're a good team. They can beat, matchup wise, they could beat some top teams in the league right now. If they get the right matchup. You know what I mean? I think the Jaguars could beat the Chiefs, you know, just based off their how their team is set up. You know what I mean? Because sometimes schematically you can match up well against a top team, but you may not match up well against this other team. And I just think this Sunday the 49ers showed them y'all can do whatever y'all want. It ain't working. Yeah, that's what it is. So,
Oh man.
I'm gonna pass it to you, B. I mean, like I said, what you think? I mean, based off this performance, do you see the 49ers getting back to that Super Bowl, or do you see them getting deep in the playoffs and then hitting that roadblock for them boys from Philly? What you got?
I'm gonna be quite frank. Roadblock, Philly, not gonna happen. They did the right thing though. You know what I'm saying? How do you protect a young quarterback who's coming into his own? He's playing decent football right now. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple bad games. They've started to string some losses together, but they did the right thing. What do you do? How do you protect your offense from having to make every play to win a game? You go build your defense, and boy, they didn't just build it; they solidified it. You know what I'm saying? Chase Young, Bosa, coming at you play after play after play is nerve wracking. I don't care who you are, even if you're Jalen Hurts, they're gonna have to find a different type of game plan. Because now I even think what is it the brotherly love push tush whatever tush push or whatever. I think that's in jeopardy now if they have to revert to that because now they got two studs on the end to where those two alone can, stop the surge going forward. But then again, we never know until we see it in action. But at the same time, they did the right thing. Chase Young, Bosa, that's how you go protect your franchise. Purdy is slowly turning to that franchise quarterback. You don't want to always have to put everything on his shoulders, with him and his offense, especially with the injuries that they got going on. You don't know how long it's going to linger around. It could linger on into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You never know who you're going to lose, so you go solidify your defense. And I like that move by the 49ers. They did a great job with picking up Chase Young. And for the Jaguars, man, it sucker had to be out to be the test dummy again against Chase Young's first game, because it was a massacre, man. It was bad. It was bad. They was all over that poor Sunshine, poor boy. They was all over him, man. I know he was ready to just get on the plane and get away from there, or wherever they was at, wherever they was located. He was ready to get far away from there. You feel me? But anyways, big win for the 49ers. Way to display your pieces, 49ers. Keep building off of it. Keep doing your thing, and hopefully you do enough to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But I'm I'm negative on that. I don't think they're gonna beat them. The Eagles just got too many ways to beat somebody. But we'll see. Only time will tell. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see it in the future. But that's all I got for that game. Anything else you want to speak on, Capo?
Yeah, I got some quick picks. So we's doing this thing called quick picks, right? Well, we just flat out you go with, you know, who you gonna win. You don't need to articulate. You know, this is one thing we starting to do where we just I'm picking this team out and the score is this. All right. So I'm gonna throw three games at you. First game, we got a Monday night game next week. It's Eagles versus the Chiefs. Who you got?
Eagles versus the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Eagles, and I'm gonna say that game will be 27-17.
Okay. Next game, Thursday night game. You got the Browns. No, my bad. Excuse me. The Ravens versus the Bengals. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Easy bounce back. No, let me not say that. Not an easy bounce back win, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens, and I say that I'm gonna make. I think that'll be a low scoring defensive game. So I'm gonna go 21-17 Ravens.
Last but not least, you got the Browns versus the Steelers. They playing Sunday. Who you got?
My. I'm sick of this division. I love the football, but I'm sick of this division. You say Browns and Steelers. I'm gonna say Browns keep the gravy train rolling. I don't think the Steelers got enough for them. I'm gonna go. I'm I'm a, I'm gonna go. Let's say 31-19.
Okay. So I'm gonna agree with you with your Eagles pick. You know, I'm gonna agree with you with that score. I second that. Um, I also second, the what's that game? The my bad. The Ravens. You picked the Ravens. I second that. Uh, and your last pick. You know, when it comes down to the Steelers, I just don't think they got enough. So I think the Browns will win that one. So that's our quick picks. Like I say, man, y'all go in the comment section, man, and y'all be able to, if we get it right, put in the comment section, hey, y'all was on your money. If we wouldn't, hey, y'all trash. Y'all need to go back to the drawing board because y'all boys got it wrong. You know what I
Right.
mean? It is what it is. But we done reached the end of the podcast. Like I keep telling y'all, man, keep liking, commenting, hating, subscribing, share this with everybody. We don't care, man. We all about growing this platform and we want to grow it with y'all. So, like I keep saying, keep interacting with us. We're going to keep interacting with y'all. I'm Boss Hog. That's Brody. We out.